What's up, XRP holders and guys? Sometimes this market sucks. It really does. And I understand all the frustration out there. We're seeing bearish momentum once again. And yes, you can point your finger to all kinds of reasons of why we're seeing this bearish momentum. Geopolitical reasons, news events, technicals, whatever. But guys, in this video, I want to give you my honest opinion. What am I seeing here from a technical point of view, from an on-chain point of view? What do I expect here for the XRP, for the crypto price action going forward? Short term, mid-term, long term. Am I honestly still bullish? Am I still holding all my positions? What is the expectation? What are the price targets? Are we going to go lower first? I want to talk about all of these things in this very important video. Let's get into it. First, of course, like the video. Can we get this video, despite the bearish momentum, back above 1,000 likes would be highly appreciated, and let's get into it. So let's start off here with the short-term price action for XRP. This is the daily chart, and what you can see is that we are currently seeing a pullback in the price of XRP. For now, the low point from the 8th or 7th, what is it, the 7th of April at approximately $1.61 is still holding for XRP as the low of this entire correction. Since then, we have seen higher highs with higher lows, and we're currently seeing a healthy pullback. Let me give you the support areas just in the short term in case we do see more bearish momentum, an escalation in bearish momentum. Now, for now, we are bouncing from off the 0.5 Fibonacci level at approximately $2.06, $2.07. We had multiple touch points here, as you can see. But what you need to understand in the immediate short term, and this is actually on-chain data from the Upbit exchange, where there's a lot of XRP trading volume, so we need to take this data very serious. But here I posted XRP inflow to Upbit surges to 10.1 million, highest level in over 60 days. Should we be worried? And you can see that the exchange inflow, basically since the beginning of May, rapidly escalated here on the Upbit exchange, and typically this leads to short-term sell pressure. People are not depositing these XRP coins onto Upbit for nothing. They're most likely going to sell XRP, or they're already doing that because we are experiencing bearish momentum. What you also need to understand in the short term is that this XRP heat map shows massive leverage at $2 final flush incoming. You can see around the $2 price level for XRP, there's a lot of liquidation leverage, which means that there are a lot of people with long positions and they place their stop loss around the $2 zone for XRP. What price typically does is it goes after the highest liquidity in the market, and since that liquidity is below us, it is very likely that we are going to see a little bit more bearish momentum just in the immediate short term. This does not mean that I'm bearish on XRP or whatever. It just means that in the short term, it could be possible, there's a high probability that we could see a flush out, a wick to the downside before a huge market reversal. Yesterday, I also showed you that the XRP estimated leverage ratio over on Binance spiked massively since April, since the low of April. So the big question remains, are these positions from insiders or retail gamblers? That is the big question. But as you can see on this heat map, there is a lot of liquidity below us. So if the XRP price comes down lower here, just in the short term, the golden pocket support is between $1.90 and $2, and that could be a very strong support zone for the XRP price. And we're not far off from that price, guys. If I show you that percentage wise, we're just talking about a minor flush to the downside from this position. Maybe a drop of 10% approximately, but that could be it. I do not think that XRP is going to drop to, what is it, $1.50 or $1 or anything crazy like that. I think we are generally at the bottom for XRP or very close to the bottom. But in the short term, there is a high probability that these leveraged long positions could get liquidated, so just be extremely careful. I also wanted to show you this because there is right now an 85% chance for an XRP spot ETF approval. As you can see over here, XRP ETF, 85% chance of an approval. And we also do know that the Franklin Templeton's XRP spot ETF decision is expected on the 17th of June. And if approved, XRP could fly significantly higher in no time. And that is still what I expect. We also do know that true inflation is below the 2% Federal Reserve target, and this could mean that rate cuts could be imminent here for the market. So you don't want to be bearish when there is low inflation. You want to be bearish when inflation is very high. I think these market conditions are very favorable for risk on assets. So yeah, in the short term, guys, there is a possibility for more bearish momentum. But if you have a vision for, let's say, the next 2, 3, 4, 5 months in crypto, I think you will be well off. And I think this is just a minor shakeout in the short term, because if you look at the fear and greed index, we are currently still slightly in the greed 61. So sentiment is slightly elevated right now. I know it sounds maybe crazy, but this meter is extremely accurate. And whenever this meter goes to the neutral or in the fear, I think if that happens, we are most likely extremely close to the bottom in the crypto market. So pay attention to that, guys. I think we are getting closer and closer day by day. But yes, I understand all the frustration out there. Long term, as you can see over here, this is the 4-day chart for XRP. We're still looking wonderful here with higher highs, higher lows. And once this consolidation phase ends, I think XRP could fly to the upside in no time, guys. So pay attention to that. If you want to purchase or trade XRP or any altcoin, I highly recommend the BTCC exchange. Link down below. Claim your 10% bonus on your first time deposit. Basically free money to trade with, guys. The BTCC exchange has been around for more than 13 years, so it's a very trustworthy exchange. So definitely check it out if you're interested. Link down below. Also, don't forget to follow me over on my Instagram. Official link down below. A lot of XRP content, Q&A sessions. If you're interested in that, check it out, guys. I want to thank you all for watching, for the amazing support, and I'll see you very soon with another XRP update. Bye-bye.